We'd like you to join us in our very first sing-along song called The Fountain of Joy, written by our very own Karen Ellen and Rick Dale. So please stand on up, follow our wonderful song leaders up here, and away we go.
Till I found the secret at last. welcome to our celebration service. As you already know, we are a spiritual community. And as community, we support one another. We uplift one another. We inspire one another by living through an awareness of God. And so, whether you're here for the first time, the 100th time, the 10,000th time, welcome home. And we begin our service with lighting of the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Dave Friedman lights the last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And please join me in prayer. Let's know this truth together, that there is just one light, one love, one power, one presence, one energy. It is right here and right now. It is where we always are, for we are, each one of us, its divine expression. And what I know for certain, this time together is absolutely blessed. It is sacred. It is uplifting. It is energizing. Each one here is here on purpose, and each one here receives a gift in consciousness, a gift in mind, a gift in body, a gift in soul, for we are all here expressing that one great divine power that is always, always present, always giving life, always giving birth to ideas, always giving wholeness where it is needed. I know that this time is blessed, and each one here is a blessing. And I'm just grateful for this time together. I'm grateful for each one, grateful for the inspiration, for the love, for the connection, for the community. And I simply let go. I know it is already done, and please join me in saying, and so it is. And now I would like to invite practitioner Jill Burnett up to provide us with our declaration of principles and our affirmation of the day.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First, we will do our declaration of principles, and we'll repeat these together, then go into the affirmation. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence,
operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates upon the law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, affirmation.
There it is.
Short and sweet.
Today, I
Consciously and powerfully let go of the past and create my life from love. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Jill. And please welcome Melissa Suzanne.
Good morning, everyone. You recognize the song from John Mayer, but we're singing a little different today. Me and all my friends were always understood. Said we stand for nothing and there's no way we ever could. But we see everything that's going on in the world with those who need it. Some feel that they don't have the means to rise above and beat it. Let's stop waiting and let's be the change. We got to stop waiting and let's be the change. It's hard to keep the system when you're standing at a distance. So let's stop waiting and let's be the change. Yeah, if we had the power to bring our neighbors home, oh, they would have never missed a Christmas. No, it's on and on. We trust your television. What you get is what you got. When we own the information, no, we benefit all they want. So let's stop waiting and let's be the change. We got to stop waiting and let's be the change. Not that we don't care, so just be the Friday thing. Let's stop waiting and let's be the Let's get started like this. Feel the Friday, yeah. Let's stop waiting. Let's be the same together. Stop waiting. Let's be the change. We got to stop waiting. And let's be the change. Yeah, sing it. Stop waiting. Yeah. Let's be the change. We got to stop waiting. And let's be the change. Now when you say, just be the change. Let me hear it. Be the change. Let's be the change. Let's be the little louder now. Let's be the change. Let's be the change. Two more. Let's be the change. Yeah. Be the change.
Melissa Suzanne.
Another round of applause for the amazing musicians.
Good morning.
Morning.
Turn it on first, she says. Okay. There. All right. My says it's working. Oh, okay. Well. Okay, well, the first, I do know what the talk title is. There we go. How to Build Your Tomorrow Today was actually the title in the book that all of these essays are based on. That is Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And today, okay, another one please, Mary.
I think the battery can fix this one.
Well, okay.
We can do it. We have the technology.
The,
We have a battery.
the next couple of slides aren't that, they're going to go quickly, like bang, bang.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
We may just.
right here.
we'll do
Okay,
it back then.
so, so if yesterday is a canceled check, the next slide, please. If yesterday is a canceled check and tomorrow is a promissory note. Next slide, please. What is today? What is today? So if we know that a canceled check is absolutely worthless, right? It's already, the funds have already been withdrawn from your account, so it's canceled. It's already canceled. If you go into your bank, now I don't get canceled checks anymore. I get pictures of my checks on my statements, but I don't get the checks anymore. But if I did and I went into the bank and said, I like this check, I want you to pay me again for it, they're going to go, you're nuts. It's the funds have already been withdrawn from this check. So forget it. So really, the point of power is in the right now, but so many of us base what we're doing on the past, on past mistakes, past beliefs, past thoughts. So where is that past? Where is your past? Point to it, please. Thank you, Anita. Yeah, exactly. You can't because you can't see it. It's a no thing. It's nothing. It's not the truth. The only power we have is in this present moment. We can have fond memories or painful memories from the past, but there's no power there. There is only power in the present moment. It is the only place where anything can occur. So if we're building tomorrow today, what we want to do is be building our awareness of the power and presence of God right now. Right now, building an awareness that that presence is right where you are, right where I am. It can be no other place because it's expressing as us, and it is for us. It is always for us. Ernest Holmes says, make up our minds that we shall no longer create our future from the past. We're the only ones that can do that. And no matter how much we remember. So one of the things that keeps us stuck in the past is our lack of forgiveness, our judgment and blame of others and ourselves. We get stuck in the past, and Ernest said this also in this essay. He says, I forgive myself for everything that has happened up until now. He was giving an example. I loose it and let it go. I forgive and I am forgiven. And that's as simple as it is to make a decision that we're forgiving and then to let it go. So, what keeps you? What kinds of things are going on in your mind about your past? Or maybe it isn't you, maybe it's someone in your life that did something that upset you, that hurt you, that somehow dismayed you. It's not hurting them at all right now if they let go, if they've loosed it and let it go, but who it's hurting is you. It's stopping that energy from flowing through you so that the limitless possibilities of the divine could make themselves known through you. So we're going to do a little process with this forgiveness in a bit. But one of the person that put this, put the notes together for this, and I've used little bits and pieces of things, is a woman by the name of Sunshine Day, and I think that's her real name, but I don't know. I've known her for years. She used to be the person at Asilomar that worked at the back and would be very pleasant to all of us and tell us when to go on stage, where to stand, and when to come off, and etc. Just the greatest person. She's the senior minister in Downey now. She had been assistant minister in Encinitas with Dr. Christian Sorensen for several years. So Sunshine wrote something that I wrote about this in my blog, but I know not everybody reads the blog. Anyway, it's worth saying again. And she said she'd played softball for years. And when she went to bat, she always looked at the field to see where she was going to hit it. I read that 3 times. What? You're playing a game, you're not a professional ball player, and you're going to decide where to hit the ball? Ken Roebuck's nodding his head. So I have a couple of athletes that work right across from me, right beside me. I went to Reverend Patty, because Reverend Karen wasn't there yet. I said, is this true? And she said, yes, of course, that's what we do. Really? And then I went to Reverend Karen, and she said, it was even more for her. She not only decided where the ball would go because there were many people there, or it was a weak area, but she would also watch for how the pitcher was pitching it to her. Now this was just incredible to me, for my brain to fathom. I'm going, what? Do you have a strategy for a game? And then I thought, Heather, you have strategies for all the games you like, which happen to be intellectual in nature, which happen to be things like Words with Friends or Scrabble. There's a strategy. If you want to win, you put your tiles in a certain place. You force the board to go in a certain direction. Oh, I'm always using strategies, I then realized. But it hadn't occurred to me, because what happened to me when I had to play softball, that would have been from grade 3 up to grade 12. And there was no choice, because in a small school, but here's the humiliating part, chosen last as they're picking up teams. Always, I was the last one chosen. I was very popular, but not for that. And then I'd get to bat. Well, first of all, I'd hope that the others would go out first before my turn came to bat. But if that didn't happen, I'd get up to bat, and I would be praying that I'd be able to just hit the ball. Just a little, just touch it. And I'd often swing and miss. I often swing after the ball was in the catcher's mitts. I would often swing before the ball came anywhere near the bat. It completely humiliating. I've told you before, my mom, my older sister, my brothers are all athletes. They're all good ball players. So I'm like the black sheep of the family. And I thought, well, if everything is created twice, everybody is doing this. Everybody has an idea of when they're playing softball or baseball. So I asked some of my friends to come and help me this morning demonstrate this. So Reverend Karen and Dave Friedman, if you'd come on up, and we'll just, this is a Nerf ball. So any of you, the other thing that I heard from another friend of mine that always hated to do this too would be afraid that we'd get hit. And even on the field, it would be, this is how I would catch. The glove wasn't to catch anything, it was to protect my face, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hear the thoughts in the batter's mind as he is engaging in this process. So,
no thoughts at all.
Where do you intend to have this ball?
First thought. Oh, look at that picture. Let's hit it in that space over here. What do you think? That way I can go over here and they won't catch it. It's okay. Yeah.
Keep your eye on the
Yeah.
ball.
I also want to let you know it's been 10 years since I've actually done this. Yeah, right? It's way out there. You know, you don't have to take everything that comes your way. I wanted to put it over there because I had already done it over here, right? You have more?
Okay, could you tell us before so I could demonstrate things
Okay.
are created twice?
I'm gonna hit it over here.
Okay.
Ready? It's not that far.
One more.
One more? I think we need to give some to the back.
Oh, back there, back row.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to try it.
All right.
Okay, so now you heard what I just said, right? That is what goes through my mind. So if by any chance, so it never occurs to me that I'm going to actually hit it up until now. This time it is occurring to me that I'm going to hit it because he's going to throw it so that it couldn't miss my bat, right? Okay, now that's that. Let's thank Reverend Karen and Dave for helping with this. There's a wonderful process that we're going to do together. So baseball is a spiritual practice, is what we just did. Everything can be a spiritual practice. Just think about what you're thinking about. What are you planning? Are you planning that it's going to be like it's always been? Or is this going to be a new moment? And what is your aim? So there's a prayer called the Ho'oponopono. It's very simple. It is these 4 sentences. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Why it's so powerful is that this prayer has helped people, helped the psychiatrist that invented this prayer, or made it famous, I should say, was in a hospital for the criminally insane. And he saw that everybody was filled with fear in that hospital, not just the patients. The staff were all filled with fear, and there was a lot of turnover, a lot of absenteeism because they were afraid to be there. So he was working in his office. He hardly ever went out into the hallways to see the patients or the staff, but something started happening. After he had been there for a couple of weeks, they noticed that the staff was attending more, they were feeling better about themselves, they were walking down the middles of the hallways instead of against the sides. And eventually they started releasing patients because they were well. And until they released every single patient. So people investigated, what on earth, you must be just a marvelous psychiatrist. What were you doing that you produced these results? He said, one by one, I would bring all of the patient's records and I would read them.
And it would move me and touch me and fill my heart with compassion. And I would say to myself, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And why that works is because there's only one mind. There's only one life. So just take a moment. Feel those words. Feel them in your heart. Say them in your head. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Feel it in your heart, in your body, in your being. There's no mistakes that are any greater. There's no prayer that's any more powerful than this one. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And so the prayer for today is simply the Ho'oponopono prayer for all beings everywhere, for all the times I've disappointed myself and judged myself, for all the times I've judged anyone else. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And so it is. And so once more, we call to the platform Melissa Suzanne.
I had a maker who formed my
Thank you once again for our amazing musicians. I got here just in time.
That's because I left out half of my talk. But you guys get a lucky day today. I got all the important things in, but I have a joke. I think I better tell that before I ask the stewards to come forward. So, Fred had a dog he was very proud of, and his friend Bob came to see this dog, and Fred said, my dog talks. He said, well, okay. What's that on top of the house? The dog said, roof. He said, He said, how does sandpaper fail? He said, roof. Who's the greatest baseball player ever? Ruth. Bob says, oh, forget it. Your dog can't talk. The dog turns to Fred and said, or was it Aaron? Okay. Ernest Holmes had a lot to say about forgiveness too, but that Ho'oponopono prayer is so powerful. There were many, many years when we were doing Adventure in Faith and we would have our meetings that we would just sit in meditation on that prayer. We'd take 5 minutes just to say it silently to ourselves. And the feeling would be so uplifted. Take it home with you. Try it. Try it for the week and see what difference it makes. You don't have to be thinking of an insane person. But you could be. Well, especially if you're forgiving yourself, you might be. She says. I was listening to podcasts yesterday of Motley Fool, whose advice I really treasure, and they were saying that they named one of the podcasts for the giraffe, for April the Giraffe. Does anyone remember April the Giraffe from 2017?
No.
When you just put in April the in Google, you're going to get giraffe. Because April was very famous. She gave birth live on the 15th of April of 2017 to this big, long giraffe. Her baby, her son. Okay. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Called it April the Giraffe, but it was really APRIL. It was an acronym for various stocks they were suggesting to buy. Yeah, anyway. Okay, now if the stewards would come forward, now that I've given you little stock tips. And, well, you know it's A, likely for Amazon, or Apple, or Activision, or AT&T, or something else. Okay, what we do with for this time of giving and receiving, we make it sacred by reading our prosperity affirmation together, then taking a few seconds in silence as we are deepening the gratitude that we feel for this day, for the people in our lives, and for the prosperity in our lives. So please join me. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply. Time that we express acknowledgement for those of you who have been in service today. So if that's you, would you please stand? It's one of our spiritual practices of spiritual giving. So we can give you a lot of love. Thank you for everything that you do. A special group of the people standing are our practitioners, so the practitioners would remain standing. Practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer, and if you want your life transformed, make an appointment with one of these people. You'll be so happy you did. If to get a taste of that on a Sunday, stop by one of the prayer tables or the Tranquility Room at the back, and you'll have a short mini session with them. The people in service today are Dave Friedman, Jill Burnett, Fred Mercado, and one other unknown person. So let's acknowledge our practitioners. And I'd like to also acknowledge anyone that's here for the very first time. We have a small gift for you. If you'd be brave and stand, that would be great. Or if not so brave, if you just wave your hand. Right here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy you're here. And if you just stay standing, I'm going to have people call. I'm going to say something and they're going to respond.
Okay.
Welcome to our center.
Welcome to our center.
We know who you are.
We know who you are.
Because you're a spiritual being.
Because you're a spiritual being.
We know that you're prosperous.
We know that you're prosperous.
We know that you're kind.
We know that you're kind.
We know that you're loving.
We know that you're loving.
And welcome home.
And welcome home.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Let's acknowledge our visitors. And I think we have some announcements.
Today we have these beautiful flowers in celebration of Uncle Dickie's birthday, aka Roy Dixon. Thanks to Diane Hennessy and family.
Conscious Connections will take place today in the sanctuary from 12 to 12:30. This is a small group discussion about the topic of today's message, and childcare is available.
On Tuesdays from 6:30 to 9, Dr. Heather is teaching a class for beginners as well as advanced students of Science of Mind. They are halfway down their spiritual path by now, but it is not too late to join them. There will be 4 more weeks on this path before they change lanes and delve into the nature of effective prayer for 8 more weeks.
At Wednesday's Wisdom this week at 7 p.m., Reverend Arpad Petros will be our speaker. His topic is entitled, I'm Working on It, a New Journey Meditation. Don't forget there's a potluck here at 5:45 on the first Wednesday for all who wish to break bread together before the service.
This October, we have an opportunity to travel to New England with Dr. Heather and Reverend Carla. Experience the fall colors while visiting the historical roots of the New Thought movement. Sign up with Reverend Carla.
Reverend Carla is also taking sign-ups for friendship circles. That's easy for you to say. Friendship circles are small groups that meet in someone's home once a month for the purpose of enriching friendships and deepening our connection, engaging in spiritual practice as a group, and providing prayer support to one another.
The Women's Circle will not follow the usual pattern in May. Instead of the first Friday, their meeting is scheduled for the third Friday, May 18th. More about the Women's Circle in the future.
And for now, let's have an announcement from Richard McDeasy about the concert that is scheduled for Friday, May 4th. And after the service today, Karen Allen will be selling concert tickets. Do we have Richard McDeasy?
This is how I want to spend my time, doing what I do best. I'm doing what I do best. Hello, CSL, Capistrano Valley. My name is Richard McDeasy, and I am 1/3 of the Pazapalooza concert. It's going to be coming your way on Friday, May 4th at 7 p.m. I'm going to be joined by my 2 favorite amigos, legendary bass player for Bonnie Raitt, turned Posse music singer-songwriter, Freebo, and multi-platinum hit songwriter and soulful troubadour, Brother Harold Payne. Now, Pazapalooza concert is very unique in that we are all up on stage together. We are swapping songs. We never know what we're going to do next. And we're telling great stories about how the songs came about. Some of them are very poignant, and some of them are very funny, like Freebo's She Loves the Dog More Than Me. And Harold is going to dazzle you with his on-the-spot song improvisation, where he takes suggestions from you, the audience, makes up a song right on the spot. And I'm thrilled to be sharing with you some of my new R&B and blues from my new CD, Wall Free World. So sure, ladies, you're going to get the eye candy, 3 beautiful men up there playing for you. But you're also going to get an evening of song mastery, inspiration, fellowship, and lots of laughs. So if you've never been to a Pazapalooza concert, now is your chance to come out and see what we do best. Woo! This is how I want to spend my
That guy's on fire, you can tell by his hair.
What's the date?
And now, for the children.